They head down the back straightaway. Grayson Graves winds up with the pole position. He's out front. To his outside is Don Duvall. Behind him, Derek Pugh, who had a very good run in the heat race. We could see him make some noise. Gorham, of course, is behind him alongside heat winner Monopoly. It'll all be settled in 25 laps as they head down the back straightaway for one final time under caution as they head through 3 and 4, getting ready to take the green flag.
Here they come. Grayson Graves on the bottom, Don Duvall on the outside. They've got a good look at Chief Starter Tyler up on the flag stand, and Don Duvall gets the jump on the outside.
Don Duvall making a dive for the lead very early on Grayson Graves. Side by side for the lead currently. 2 by 2 by 2 out back through the field, but the battle for the lead is still the 30 and the 05. Duvall trying to make a run on the inside, but here comes Graves.
Don Duvall, former winner in the Superstock ranks, will lead lap number 1 by a bumper cover. Duvall in the 30, running the high side. Graves down on the bottom in that white 05, getting a little bit loose down there. Duvall going to power off to number 2 to the lead.
Don Duvall in the lead. Grayson Graves second, but here comes George Gorham. He's up to 4th. He's knocking on the door. Becca Monopoly has also moved into the top 5. Very competitive early on here in the truck series as Duvall pulls away.
3 wide, back of the field. JT Chastain whips it into turn number 1, but hangs onto it. Good save by the young driver as Wilson Martins Jr. trying to work his way up through the field. Pass for second. The 3 of Derek Pugh up to the runner-up position, bringing George Gorham Jr. with him.
George Gorham a little bit loose there out of turn number 4, side by side with the 05. He doors him and takes the 3rd spot away. Arrow blocking Grayson Graves for that 3rd position. Becca Monopoly now trying to make a move on Graves for 4th.
Monopoly, another victim of the big invert here tonight. The top 7, half the field inverted here tonight. Becca trying to work her way back up through, trying to keep touch with the leader. As Derek Pugh begins to stalk the race leader, Don Duvall, in turn number 2.
Don Duvall is pulling away from Derek Pugh, who's closed the gap just a little bit in the last couple laps. Pugh has made it clear he's not afraid to make a move to the inside. And Duvall is loose. He's up into the turn 4 wall. The caution is out. The leader has gotten in an incident.
And his throttle might be hung there. Don Duvall into the wall very, very hard. Wilson Martins Jr. coming to a stop to avoid as Don Duvall, the leader, has a problem off of turn number 4 and destroys the rear end of that truck. He's moving around inside, thank goodness.
Pugh has made it clear he's not afraid to make a move to the inside. And Duvall is loose. He's up into the turn 4 wall. And that right rear tire just completely separated from its own axle. Don Duvall, a hard hit there while racing for the lead.
Boy, you hate to see that. Don finally having a good run, and it all comes unglued as he slips up into the turn 4 wall. And boy, that gentleman down there in turn 4 in the gray shirt had a really good look at that one. My goodness.
That was an absolutely vicious crash. Good to see him moving around and okay. We've heard from race control that his toe link might have fallen off and that some debris out on the racetrack near turn number 4, so they'll get the truck out to pick that up. Wilson Martins narrowly avoiding disaster.
You see the 58, Gage Spears stopping. Those are basically teammates down there, good friends. So Gage showing some sportsmanship, checking on Don there. Don, a former winner in the Superstock ranks, finally getting this truck to run correctly. And I know that team has been fighting some brake issues, but obviously something broke into that car directly into the wall off of turn number 4. And here comes the Bishop's Wrecker Service flatbed to pick up what remains of truck number 30.
Don Duvall, very unfortunate. He had a very fast truck, and that means Derek Pugh in the 3 will now inherit the race lead, and that moves George Gorham up to the 2nd position. Just absolutely heartbreaking for that 30 team. They finally seem to have put all the pieces together, and just when you think everything is come together, the 30 car is up in smoke. And there, as you can see, Don Duvall in the 30 out of the car. Scary looking crash, but Don Duvall, he's okay. He's out of the car. Very glad to see him walk away from this one.
Very glad to see that, as took a moment to collect his breath there after a hard shot into this unforgiving concrete here, and heartbreaker for Don. At least it was running good there when it all went undone there. Hate to see that for Don Duvall.
Very, very unfortunate, especially now considering they've They've gotten that truck to where it needed to be. As we've said, they were finally looking to start contending for some wins, and now only 4 laps in, well, the most dominant truck so far, he's now out, and you've got the 3 fastest cars from those heat races now running 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, going to change the game as Derek Pugh will be the control car for the restart. We'll see what line he chooses when we go back for the restart. Going to take a moment here to get Don's truck loaded up on the flatbed before we can go back green.
Might be a little bit hungry here calling some of these races, thinking about flatbread.
I feel you.
Flatbread. And but all seriousness, thank you to the folks out at Bishop's who help us keep our track, safe, picking up these cars. Thanks to the Chews, he'll be restarting from the 8th position after previously having been in 11th. Martins Jr. on the way up, 2x2x2, the American Auto Dodge pace car into the pit lane in the restart zone. We are back to green flag racing.
Good reset on the outside for the M5, George Gorham. George is going to head down into turn number 1 and 2, side by side with Pugh. Gets loose on the bottom. Gorham's got the advantage.
Gorham does, and Pugh almost got loose and spun out there, but now he's charging back up side by side with Gorham. Sparks from the 07 truck mid-pack. Leaders door to door at the line. It's Gorham.
Whoa, Gorham! Doors the 3 car down into turn number 1. Wow, what a big save for Derek Pugh. He's not going to be happy behind the wheel of that truck.
He is not, and he is going to use everything he can to catch back up to George Gorham. And that he does. He's now less than half a car length behind. A little bit loose there on corner exit. George Gorham leading yet another lap. And Ryan, we're only 6 laps in and tempers are already flaring.
Yeah, and cooler heads are going to have to prevail here because this is not the place that you're going to want to get somebody back. Gorham very aggressive down the main straightaway there. We got a battle heating up for the 4th spot. Martin's looking to the outside of Graves. They get sideways. Here comes Wilson Martins, the 88, working his way up into the mix.
Wilson Martins fighting for Smith with that position, but right now at the front, Derek Pugh caught George Gorham once again. Got a little bit to his back bumper there, but he let him go by.
The 3 of Derek Pugh sizing up the tailgate of George Gorham Jr. Beck Monopoly in the mix, and they're side by side for 4th. Maria Martins making her presence felt in the yellow and black truck.
As Grayson Graves got really loose there on the front straightaway. Derek Pugh took the inside line there for second. He's gaining ground on Gorham. Less than a car length now separates it, but Becca Monopoly has caught him, and the battle for second has begun.
Boy, Derek Pugh starting to get a little bit loose. He's losing touch with George Gorham now. A lot of battles behind the top 3 as they begin to scoot away. Maria Martins down on the apron for a moment as she battles with the 05 of Grayson Greaves, and here comes her brother now, Wilson Martins Jr. in that 88 truck. Becca Monopoly going to try to take second from Derek Pugh.
And the Martin Stimlings on the inside just could not make the pass on Graves that time by that top 3 breaking away by about half a turn. Graves getting very loose now, and here comes Wilson Martins on the outside.
Graves in the 05 under attack from the Martins family, trying to hold them both off now, and they're losing touch with the leaders. Top 3 have begun to break away, and Maria gets to the inside of Grayson Greaves off the corner. Spin, Gage Spears in turn 4. Gage Spears lights up the tires and goes around, and that is going to bring out the caution flag once again on lap 11. And keep your eye on the 5 and the 3. This is not over yet.
This is not. They had a very, very tense battle for the lead just a couple of laps ago, and now they'll be restarting side by side once again. Here he comes. Oh,
look at that. And George ain't going to take that. This is going to be one heck of a restart, folks. This is what you paid to see tonight.
Voicing his displeasure there with George Gorham, Derek Pugh rear-ending the back of the 5 truck and then giving him a little tap on the side. Race control notified the 2 drivers that if they were to continue, they would both have to restart in the back of the field. After kind of riding around in the back, having a quiet day, having some issues in the heat race, they fixed that truck up. He's back up at the front. He might be contending as well.
Let's see what's going to happen next. Gorham, your leader on the bottom. Derek Pugh, the other black truck on the outside. Gorham gets a good jump in the restart zone. Now watch the 3. What's he going to be able to do? Gorham clear to the lead in turn 1.
Here comes Pugh to the bottom. He's getting closing in on Gorham, but here comes Maria Martins now on the outside, giving Pugh a push. She passes Becca Monopoly for 3rd. Becca not going to go down without a fight. Now on the inside, it's a battle for third as the two leaders pull away.
And now the two ladies battle side by side off to number 4. Give it to Maria Martins. What a drive for the 07 tonight. Martins having a good run, and hey, Race Control told those two trucks to stay off one another, and what a way to make them separate as George Gorham getting a heck of a restart.
It'll be the halfway mark as they hit the stripe this next time by. Gorham, Pugh, Martins, the top three. Monopoly still on the back bumper of Maria Martins. The gap is getting a little bit bigger now. The field strung out, single file, halfway home.
George Gorham, Derek Pugh, Maria Martins trying to separate from the field. As they go into turn number 3, George Gorham still showing the way, coming to lap number 14 this time by.
Here comes JT Chastain now on the rear end of Grayson Graves. The battle for 5th position has started. Those two were side by side in turns 3 and 4, and now that battle for 5th is continuing as they head down the back straightaway.
JT Chastain trying to break into the top 5 after smacking the wall in the heat race. That black watermelon truck all over the back of the white 05 as they come off turn number 4, side by side battle for 5th. It's all single file at the head of the field as JT Chastain takes the spot in turn 1.
He'll do the crossover move on Graves, but Graves shows it's not over yet. He's on the back bumper of that 31 truck as they head into 3 and 4. Chastain's going to pull away with the spot, and now Martins and Monopoly back on each other for third.
Right now it's the M5, George Gorham by 2.5 truck lengths, make it 3 as Pugh continues to get loose. Pugh starting to fall back, and what a run for Maria Martins in that 07, but Becca Monopoly's blue 59 trying to get back in the mix here. This time by 17 laps complete. This one's starting to wind down. The point leader, George Gorham, in control.
Boy, and those two at the front sure have calmed down after the message from Race Control. Derek Pugh has backed off. He's about 4 to 5 truck lengths behind George Gorham, who's really just been driving away with it now recently. Wilson Martins Jr. locked in a little bit of a battle there with the 24 truck of Dalton Smith. Side by side, 47th position.
Wilson Martins Jr. going the wrong way after that restart. That truck's starting to fade. Some sparks out of the 24 machine to Dalton Smith to his inside. Maria Martins going forward. Wilson Martins going backwards. The second place point man losing valuable ground in the standing as they come to lap number 19. Still side by side off turn 4, the 24 and 88.
Becca Monopoly got to the back bumper of Maria Martins coming out of turn number 3, but just couldn't execute or make the pass. Meanwhile, Wilson Martins still under attack from the 24 car. They're still side by side for the 7th position.
George Gorham in control, and he took control of this race on that most recent restart. He was clear down the main straightaway trying to run and hide from Derek Pugh's number 3. It's going to make for a very interesting victory lane when we get to it in less than 5 laps. M5, George Gorham Jr., the oil leader.
Out of turns 3 and 4, Becca Monopoly all over the rear bumper of the 07 of Maria Martins, reigning track champion. She dives to the inside in turn 1, but just couldn't get it to stick. Pulls back in line behind the 07 car, and the battle for third rages on.
Best battle on the racetrack right now. Dalton Smith and Wilson Martins Jr. way behind the top 5 runners right now. After the battle for third, beginning to heat up again as Becca Monopoly puts pressure on defending champion Maria Martins in the 07 machine.
Maria Martins not going to give that position up. Oh, and Becca hits the rear end of the 07, almost got down to the inside. Maria Martins blocking in turns 3 and 4 to keep the 3rd position, but my oh my, do we have a battle continuing to heat up.
No doubt about it. Chuck Ayers entering that battle with Dalton Smith and Wilson Martins for a moment. Thought we were going to get the next caution of this race, but they were able to straighten it out. We're coming to the white flag this time by George Gorham in control over Derek Pugh's number 3. White flag is out, 1 to go.
George Gorham after a battle with Derek Pugh. The two had tempers flaring. The two were not going to let each other go down without a fight, but Gorham used the outside on that restart to his advantage, and I think he's going to come home with the checkered flag in hand.
George Gorham Jr. in the M5 off turn number 4. The point leader going to extend his point lead tonight and pick up yet another win. George Gorham Jr. wins it. Derek Pugh is second, and at the line third to Maria Martins. It's Becca Monopoly and JT Chastain, your top 5. The rest of the field finishes their run.
Grayson Graves finished in 6th. Dalton Smith in the 7th position. Wilson Martins in 8th. Ryan is headed down trackside to grab a word with George as he's making his way down to the gate.
Oh, look at this. George burnout in front of Derek Pugh. Folks, make some noise for George Gorham as he burns down the house for you. And Derek Pugh has pulled his truck down here in this now very smoky victory lane. I'm sure Derek not very happy about the way this race played out today, but George Gorham getting the job done once again. And the race officials down here trying to keep everybody separated. And ladies and gentlemen, here comes your winner. Make some noise. George Gorham Jr. gets it done. And they exchange some words. Well, George, we talk about it all the time. These races a lot of times are won and lost on restarts, and you made sure that the three couldn't get back to you. You took off on that last restart and drove to victory.
I mean, look at the restart. I blew his doors in. I mean, we smoked him. He couldn't touch us after we got past him, so I don't know why he's mad. I got in the front stretch wall and got into him, and I have no clue why he's mad about that. I mean, I guess he needs to watch a video where I bounced off the front stretch wall and we got into each other. It didn't hurt his race at all, so he can say it hurt it all he wants to. He still finished second, and he was going to finish second regardless. You know, we didn't buy tires. We're just trying to, you know, keep this thing going for you guys and all the fans and put on a race. You know, it's hard coming from the back, so we're going to put on a show for you fans. The next race, we got to start dead last, and I hope you come and watch. One of you fans out there, one of the little boys or girls, come see me. You'll get the trophy at the end. Right there, the little boy in the blue shorts, come see me. You'll get the trophy at the end of the night in the payout window. All right, I donate all my trophies to all you fans and all the little ones to make it entertaining. Thanks to my wife, Blackburn's Barbecue, Vince, Lamar, Melon One, you know, Rhonda, Rich, JT, Cade, they're all, Ross, Francisco. You know, it's all awesome. Hats off to everybody that helps me. And like I said, we're here for you fans. And we're going to go be back in Super Race and then Truck Racing Cordele. And we'll come back and keep you guys in on your feet.
Ladies and gentlemen, a wild race and a wild victory lane down here. Let's hear it for George Gorham one more time.
I got to thank Nau Smyrna Speedway, too, Ryan, everybody that puts their heart, sweat, and tears. You know, it started raining. They didn't have to wait it out and let you fans sit here in the rain. And I really appreciate Robert Hart, Jane Hart, everybody that works in that office back there. If it wasn't for any of them and Ryan, I mean, we wouldn't have nowhere to play, and I really appreciate them sticking us out and letting us race. I mean, we had the most trucks. This track's getting the truck count like crazy. It's amazing to come here and race with 14 trucks, you know, and we'll keep building it, and we'll get some people in the stands and continue to race.
Well, if you guys continue to race like that, no matter how they look at it, people are going to want to see it. We'll turn it over to Zach, and you'll have the honors to talk to Derek Pugh, who's not going to be happy about second place.
Derek Pugh, an absolutely hard-fought run there to finish second. Derek, those restarts, what is the strategy between picking the top side or the bottom side here at Nau Smyrna, and how does that impact the finish in a race like this?
I mean, I don't know. You know, racing against somebody like that, they got to fucking door you into the wall just to get by you. You know, no wonder he got rid of his super late model.
Is there anybody else you want to thank tonight? Anybody that helped this happen for you?
Bobby Shelton, Debbie, Nick, you know, Mom, Dad, my fiance, everybody. Thank you all.
Thank you, Derek. We apologize for the language to all you fans out there. We'll turn it back over to Ryan to interview our third place finisher, much calmer Maria Martin.
Our defending track champion. Come on over here to the front of the truck there, Maria. Maria Martins with a great drive through the field, looking like a champion. Another podium finish in this big field of trucks. Congratulations on a good run.
Oh, thank you so much. I just want to thank all the fans who stuck through those rain delays. You guys are awesome.
George Gorham over to give congratulations. Good thing she didn't get to you, George.
Thank you. But it was a lot of fun today, and I just got to thank my crew, my family, Drops, Daniel Webster, my husband, my mom, my dad, everybody who makes this possible. Transmax Transmission, Knuckle Sandwich over there, Hisco Pump, who's been supporting me, and I just really appreciate it. I feel really blessed right now to be able to go out here and have fun and enjoy racing on Saturday night.
I gotta say, you kind of struggled towards the end of last year. You're able to hang on and win the championship. But my goodness, has this truck come alive? What's been the secret the last couple of weeks?
I didn't realize my motor from last season had a loss of compression towards the end, and so thank God I had a sponsor who was able to bless me to help fund the motor, so that's helped us.
Well, I'm glad you got that fixed, and keep up the good work.
All right, thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Maria Martins with a great third place run here tonight, the defending track champion. She's back, looking to get back to victory lane. We're going to head up topside and get ready for our next event, which will be the Florida Pounders.